Hey, what's up, guys? I just felt like making this video because I think that there are some things that need to be said that pertain to us Christians here in this great debate, if you want to call it that. Um, I don't know if I'm going to keep this video up. I was actually thinking about making editing together a video to talk about this, but doesn't go as I hope. I'll just remove it later on, maybe. Um, I feel like we need to get our act together, man. I mean, like seriously, I've got roughly around 1,000 subscribers or so. Um, G-Man's got about I don't even know how many, 5, 6,000 subs. Bible Thumping we at 3,000 or so. I mean, all of us, we've got enough people watching us and listening to us. And I'm not like trying to down talk anybody or attack anybody, but all I'm saying is that if we were all to work together and be a little bit more coordinated in trying to help smaller Christian channels grow, we could see a domino effect take place here on YouTube to where things are not as they have been. What I mean by that is, for I don't know how long I've been here on YouTube, 3 years or so, something like that. The atheists here online, they've always been the dominant force here online. And the only way that that's going to turn around is if we turn that around. And we got to try to make some effort to maybe help smaller Christian channels grow and send directions, maybe do some shout outs, I don't really see us doing anything like that. And I don't want to talk bad about what, any Christians do here online because, I know I could be helping and doing a little bit more and better. And, like Bible Thumping Weed on his channel, he does a very good job on his channel. He's, every Sunday, kicking some butt every Sunday. All I'm saying is that, every single Christian out here that has a viewer base, that has a name for themselves, we could make all of these smaller YouTube channels grow by all of us sending traffic that way. And even if it's only like, from 0 to 200 subs, something small like that, I mean, I think it still helps. And if we're planting a little season like that all over YouTube, I think we could start to see like a real effect here online. That's what I want to see happen. I mean, there are different routes that we have to start going rather than just, constantly putting up content to bring up the same arguments and talk about the same things over and over again, because that's only going to have so much effect here online. It really is. We're always using the same arguments. We're usually always talking to the same atheists that don't listen and don't want to hear about anything. There are different tactics that we have to start using, I think, to start making our efforts here more productive. And I think that we could actually do that. If we all started figuring some things out, coming together and talking about some of these things. Okay, what can we do to help this channel grow? Okay, this guy, he's actually a very well-spoken person. Let's try to send some traffic that way. Something like that, I think there could be a lot of effect here on YouTube. There's just spreading out some of our debates and discussions as well. Like you see somebody doing a good job, mirror that discussion and put it all over YouTube, because whenever somebody goes through the search engine and they're trying to find these discussions, or maybe looking at an atheist getting owned or a Christian being owned or some sort of debate, that's going to be like the first video that they're going to find. Or if they're finding an accumulation of discussions where an atheist is clearly getting destroyed, I think it'll be beneficial. Like a lot of discussions that I see with Matt Slip, for example, I would like to see a lot of those discussions actually mirrored, or somebody like taking a compilation video and maybe titling it something like, well, Christian gets destroyed or something like that. And they'll be watching back to back to back atheists get out. I don't know. I'm just thinking of some things, but I think that we could all start to have a better effect than we've been having. And I think that we need to start like strategizing a little better, because there's things that we need to do here on YouTube. And I've been noticing it. I mean, people have been coming to me and they've been telling me one of the reasons why they got involved in the Great Debate was because of some videos that they watched of mine, or some discussions that they've had of mine, or I've seen of mine a while back, and that motivated them to get involved and start doing some more research so that they could start getting involved in the great debate. That's what I love to hear. And if we start to see more of that, I mean, we'll turn this all around. Because the only thing that the atheists really have here online is the numbers. That's what they have. Somehow we have got to find a way to accumulate our own numbers, to get more and more of our own people to get involved in the great debate. Because once we start getting more and more of our people involved in the great debate, it's going to turn the internet around. I mean, that's what we need to see happen. That's our number one goal. It's not necessarily just to convert people or get people over to Christ, but the main goal, I think, that is just as important as that is getting more and more to come into the great debate that are Christians, to get involved and to learn about these topics and to dig into this information, because they're going to become stronger. It's going to get them to get involved and cause them to put up their own content and to start debating, and people who are going to listen to them are going to end up converting as well. I mean, let's say we were to send traffic to one person that only has about 200. We can only get him about 200 subscribers or so. Who cares? Even if he's only putting up, getting 50 viewers at a time or 100 viewers at a time, that guy could be so smart and have such good and great points that he could motivate one person, just one person, to end up blowing up sometime in the future, 1,000 viewers or 30,000 subscribers. Maybe what if it's just like 500 subscribers or so? But that will accumulate, and that's what I want to see happen. I want to see, like, some of my subscribers, I want to see them blow up. I want to see them reach, 10,000 more people than I've ever reached. That's what I want to see happen. But that's only going to happen if we start to draw attention to people. Like, what you notice what I've been doing these last couple of days on my channel. Whenever I have Christians in my room, I ask them, do you want to do a hangout right now so we can advertise? I want to make sure I can advertise for the Christians that are in my room so that I can send traffic their way. My problem is that, you guys know my schedule. Stay online and to keep up with everything that's being said. Sometimes I'll have 99 plus messages on my little bell symbol on the top. And some of those messages, they'll be like comments or 180 comments where everybody's having a discussion. And I sometimes can't keep up with it. So, I mean, that's a real big problem with me. So I can't really, keep in touch with all of these Christians here on YouTube and say, hey, you want to have a debate here? You want me to, come to your channel and have some discussions? What I was thinking about doing was actually trying to set up debates between myself or atheists on a smaller Christian channel, because I've been noticing with some of the discussion that I have with atheists here online, they won't get that many views, or if you look at the pattern of views, it might get 300 views here or there. But if I go over there and they got the name and the title in their video and there's a debate going on, I always notice this. They get like 1,600 views, 500 views, 400 views. And I think that's something I should start taking advantage of, because True Empiricism is now a name here on YouTube that I think I've been, not really paying attention to. Because when it's you, and that label, has something to do with you, you don't really think about it. You don't really care about it. But I think it is something that I could at least try to help or try to use to have a little bit of online, because that's what I want to see happen. I mean, I really do want to see that happen. I think we can make it happen. I think that we've seen an effect this last 3 years, and I've been out here on YouTube. I think the Christians that have been involved, we've seen that effect. I really do think that. People have been coming to me through Hangouts or through sending me messages and saying that I have had influence on them, or they've come into this because they've listened to so-and-so speak, and now they're involved in the great debate. If you notice the amount of Christians that are here in the great debate, there's a lot more here within our vicinity than there were just 4 or 5 years ago. That's because of the effort that a lot of us have been going through. So, I mean, the people are listening. People are really paying attention to what's being said. even though, you know, for the Christians that are listening to me, you might make mistakes here or there. I mean, I know I probably made more mistakes than most, you know, losing my cool sometimes and, you know, losing my patience with some people, but people understand why. Like these arrogant clowns here online, they think that they're clever with the way that they word something, because they're, and when you're in groups with people, you know, it's kind of hard to realize that side of your little community that can tell, you know, the war games, there's a little snarky attitude. People can see that. People are paying attention to that, and they're only community of atheists here. They're only adding and giving more of a problem for this atheist movement that we've all been paying attention to. That atheists, they really can't be trusted. And I know people don't like it when I say that. It might sound like a bigoted statement or something, but hey, you guys have seen the dishonesty here online. I've seen it. I've witnessed it firsthand. And the reason why atheists can't be trusted is really the way that they act and they conduct themselves. So, I mean, all I'm trying to say is that you may not think, for the Christians that are listening, that you're having an effect here online. People are watching and they're really paying attention to this. So you just do the best that you can, and you keep on doing what you're doing, and you be as honest and straightforward as you possibly can when you put up your hangouts, no matter how many times people try to put words in your mouth and twist facts and try to make you look bad, because people are watching, and people are not as smart as these atheists think that, or they're not as dumb as these atheists think that they are. So yeah, I mean, I hope that we can start seeing something like this happen. I mean, we do have better arguments than they do. We simply do have better arguments than they do. The best that I've heard in response to my arguments is that I'm just incoherent. They can't understand the argument, or, you know, something like that. Well, at one time I was using a different way of phrasing the argument. I was saying that, well, components working together in a coordinated fashion, you know, interchangeable parts, and that's something to do with that. And atheists would just be like, well, you know what, that's just incoherent rambling. To say multiple components working together in a coordinated fashion, you just want me to say a lot of stuff. I mean, that's how they are, though. They're ridiculous like that. And the people who had actually listened to that argument that I used to present on a regular basis, they actually ended up seeing things my way. Even some people that are not agnostics started seeing things my way with intelligent design. Well, the one dude, I don't think he converted to Christianity, but I think that he did say, well, you know what, intelligent design, it is science, and it does make a good point. And I think he's actually, based on what I've read from his comments, I think that he does see evolution for what it actually is. But I've got a lot of different people that are not Christians that support what I say about intelligent design. And you know why? Because it's true. I mean, it makes sense. Whether people like it or not, it makes a heck of a lot more sense than this evolution nonsense and everything else. But yeah, guys, I guess I'll check the comment section right now, because it looks like I've got a couple of people here online. But that's what I really want to see happen. I mean, I don't need the attention on me. That's not what I've ever been here on YouTube for. You know, I've seen the misrepresentations, the dishonesty attacks from the atheists, and I just felt compelled to get you online and start responding to it. And I want to see as many people as possible, every single one of my subscribers that see things my way, go and explode and have, you know, 30 or 40,000 subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Even if it's only 500 subscribers, I want to do what I can to into their channel. People need to understand that when you're here on YouTube, like, and you're having an effect here online, I really mean this. Like, you're going to start to see the hate. Like seriously, you're going to. Let me tell you something. Like, a lot of people don't know this about me. I grew up in the south side of Chicago. And I used to go back. I've actually been all over the country. I got family in Hawaii. I got family that stayed over in New York and Alaska. I mean, I've been to Texas. I've been all over the place. But I used to actually stay in, when I was younger, in Southern Illinois. And there was like a lot of, oh no, that wasn't Southern Illinois. It was somewhere. It was in the South. I think it was where my, it was somewhere close around that area, but it was in Illinois. It was a while back, and I think in this area, actually the Ku Klux Klan. They've been gathered in this area. Um, I ended up getting into a real, like, I was like 14 years old at the time, and I think I only weighed like 145, 150 or something like that. But I ended up getting into a real bad fist fight with this real prejudiced, mouthy guy. I mean, like a real bad fist fight. No nonsense. We had been going at it for like 9 minutes, and for anybody who's gotten into a fight or who's, been in boxing or anything like that, that's a pretty long time to be standing, fighting. Anyways, just I was like 23, 24, 25 years old at the time, maybe a little older. I don't know. It looked like about that, that old. And the cops, they came over, and they were cops. They were actually state cops, and they were throwing racial remarks at me as well. That level of negativity that I experienced at that time, there was a lot of going on there at that time that I'm not going to get into right here online because nobody needs to hear it. But that level of negativity that I experienced from those racists over there, I don't think it's even nearly as bad as what I see here online. Like the hate and the anger that I get from these people here on YouTube, like, they seriously are mad, and it's just they're so angry about everything. Like, serious, they're so angry about every single thing anybody says that has to do with God or a creator. And it's very evident that they don't try to hide it. Just like that cop. I mean, he was a freaking straight racist. I mean, like, he himself was throwing some racial remarks as well. I was only 14 at the time. Think about that. But just like that, I mean, that's kind of how they are here online. I mean, they have no, like, even thought process to where they think that they should calm down a little bit and slow down before they start expressing how they feel about certain things. I've had to delete so many different comments, and just how to put it into words. It's like they all tend to share this hate and this rage. And if you come in here on YouTube and you start putting up content, you're going to start experiencing the same thing, especially if you have an effect here online. So that's something you need to watch out for. Like, people don't tell you that. You think you're just going to start putting up content, it's going to be fun. But we have an enemy. You know what the scripture says, and you're going to start to see how clearly it will manifest itself to you when you're here on YouTube. And there are people that have one dude, I think he actually knows where I'm staying because the comment that I received, I don't know, 5 months back, something like that. And I think that he was actually knowing where I was staying, and the way that he was wording what he was saying was almost like he was threatening me. Those are the type of comments that I received. I've received a lot of comments that I don't talk about. I started talking about, when people were throwing racial remarks here online, just because I knew it was beneficial to point out, okay, look how this guy's acting. Atheists aren't confronting it in the comment section. They're acting like they don't care. But then after I started realizing that some of them were starting to do that just so they can get some attention, I just lately just deleting the comments and trying not to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, like, that's something you need to pay attention to. People say, "Oh, well, he's exaggerating. He doesn't know what he's talking about," and all that other crap. Well, it's not like that. It is like that. That is exactly what it's like. You start having an effect. You start dealing with a lot of haters, a lot of disrespectful people. When I say that you're dealing with a lot of this type of attitude, that's not to say that every single atheist is going to act like that. But I got to say that is most definitely the norm here on YouTube. And I'm just saying that because this is what I experience on a regular basis. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, this to try to keep people away from coming here on YouTube and to put up content, but to understand what you're going against you when you get online, because these people try every single tactic. We're trying to be clever about certain things, trying to be misrepresent your points. Anything that they can do, they try to do what they can to try to shut you up, because these are some of the most intolerant people you're ever going to come across in your life. And I mean that. These are probably the most intolerant. Look, I used to talk to a lot of people all the time. I mean, I used to go out and witness and talk to Muslims, Ishmaelites, all sorts of people on a regular basis. And I've never met such an intolerant, truth-hating group of people like these atheists are online. I mean, if you can say a fact a lot of the times that just might somehow be related to Christianity, but just a general fact that some people might acknowledge, like in the Bible, the historical significance of Galatians or something like that, and they'll get mad and they will react, and that's how it happens a lot. But I mean, I'm just saying this because I want people to be aware of this that are starting to put up content, because there's been a couple of people that actually sent me messages that want me to check out their channel. I think Philip Vitale, he actually just recently sent me a message on this. I haven't checked out his channel yet, but I'm gonna go try to check out his channel. I think he's starting to put up content now. And people need to understand that this is, you do need to watch out for this, because angry people here online that have some sort of emotional baggage going on, and it is, you can tell. I mean, they really do have a lot of emotional baggage going on, despite the fact that they try to deny that. They really do. I'm going to check out the comments really quick, see who's here in the comment section. I've got somebody running their mouth about me. All right. Jesus is Lord. You're awesome, man. I need to start getting you in some of my rooms. Looks like you guys are debating in the comment section. Richie Torres says, I like your content. Thank you very much, Richie. He says, and you seem to be very knowledgeable, but I'd like to ask, do you think giving the skeptics evidence for God is the way to go? Well, I think that I do it for, to expose the fact that they don't have any excuse. Scientifically speaking, with empirical reasoning, true empirical reasoning, that's the name of the channel, is not going to be leading you to any of these conclusions. It's going to lead you to the conclusion of a creator and the implications of a creator. If you're looking at what atheism is, atheism means to be without theism. Theism is to believe in a personal, interactive creator God. The attribute of atheism, creation, is directly being challenged by the empirical evidence. The world is showing that the universe, or that life, was created. Things that you're looking at physically, materialistically, with all of your senses, they all seem to be confronting this clear fact that we were created. And that's really one of my reasons why I try to confront them with the evidence, not to try to prove to anybody anything, because that's the game that they try to play here online. Prove to me that there is no God. The burden of proof is on you. I'm just, I got the default position. You got to think about it. Why would we try to prove to anybody something if that somebody doesn't want to be convinced of anything, right? You might as well flush everything that you say to them down the toilet. And they also forget to mention that the disbelief or lack of belief in God or gods isn't the only definition that you find in the dictionaries. It's also the denial of the existence of God and the doctrine that there is no God. And hopefully people start to use wisdom and to realize, look, we don't have to prove to these people anything. And the burden of proof is on us to make the claims, but I'm not asking your permission or your approval for you to agree on anything that I'm saying or talking about. You're the one who's incoherent for not accepting it. I mean, if you find a code in motors and turbines, there's a reason why I'm saying on those three topics, because all three of those are direct inferences of creator. If you deny that those things come from an intelligent creator, or that an intelligent creator was behind those things, and you're going to come and look at me in the face and say that I'm denying reality, I mean, why would I take you seriously? And that's really exactly what it comes down to. They deny reality. They deny the implications of what reality is showing us, and then they turn around and try to condescend to us as if we're the ones that don't know what we're talking about, as if we're the idiots here. But the truth is, these people are the ones that, what does the scripture say? The fool has said in their heart that there is no God. And they are very foolish. They're not thinking. They are not thinking. And no matter how many times they want to say that, they're not thinking. You can throw, like, you guys know that this situation has been going on with me trying to say, trying to get away from this accusation of who knows more here online. I've been trying to get away from that for a while, and I'm going to try to ignore that. You can say that I don't know what I'm talking about, any given topic, anything. But just think about a code. Think about a motor or a turbine, okay? This is what they're referred to in the literature. Molecular turbines, molecular motors. They have drive shafts, they have bushings, they have bearings, they have all the component parts of the turbines that we actually produce, right? Or even the motors that we actually produce. Why would you deny that fact, right? You cannot deny that fact then, okay, well, that doesn't mean that it was created. I mean, how does that even follow? Okay, ignore everything else. I don't know anything about science. I don't know anything about anything whatsoever. But if you're looking at that little thing right there of a turbine or a motor, should we not believe that it was created, right? Looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, talks like a duck, but for some reason it's a cow. Looks like the things that we create, operates like the things that we create that only come from intelligence, but for some reason it was the product of natural selection and mutation and evolution, and it took millions of years to get this thing actually built. And how that they follow the evidence to the conclusion, to the conclusion, but as soon as they get to the conclusion, they deny it and go right over to the left. Like, how does that happen? They just deny the implications of the data. They don't make any sense. That's just what it is. I mean, they don't make any sense. I don't know how anybody can just, buy into their nonsense, man. I think for anybody to buy into the nonsense that they're talking about, you do really have to be foolish. I do. I mean, I think that anybody who would buy this nonsense of evolution or abiogenesis, you have to be very foolish. You have to be a weak-minded man to believe this crap. That's what it is. So go back to the comment section, see what's been talked about. I know I probably went on a long rant right there, but I've been sitting here thinking about this, and it is. I mean, this YouTube nonsense is really ridiculous. And I'm starting to realize that maybe I should start to step back from off the scenes a little bit and try to, maybe do some effort to support smaller Christian channels to help them grow, because I want to see those. I want to see a smaller channel start to grow. Somebody that's only got 30 subscribers or 20 subscribers, I want them to jump up to about 500 subscribers. I want to see that happen. I want to see the people who are watching my content, the Bible Thumping Wingnut's content, or G-Man's content, or Vector's content, to explode and just get so much bigger than our channel. But the only way that's going to happen, the only way we're going to see that happen, is if all of us start working together. Myself, Bible Thumping Wingnuts, G-Man, Veckel, every single Christian here on YouTube that has a name for themselves, we all need to try to figure out a way to help all of the little channels grow in content and in viewership. We all need to help make that happen, because it's not one of us can make anything like that happen. All of us have got to make that happen. We all have to have a united effort to make something like this happen, because nobody else is going to do it for us. Let's just be realistic here. We are what makes the YouTube. I mean, we are the voice for the Christians here online. We are the ones who have a name for ourselves. We are the ones who have the views here online. Whenever something's being talked about, it's either Nephilim Free, it's either G-Man's channel, or it's Nephilim Free's channel. So we are the ones that make this Christian community, and I just don't feel that we've been doing enough to try to help grow as a community. Growing as a community is more important, or just as important. I shouldn't say more important, but just as important as helping our own channels grow. We need to see other channels start to explode as well, and that's what I want to start to see happen. But I know, and I realize that That's something that I simply can't do by myself. Nobody says I should have a written debate about ATP. That is, why would I want to do that? If I initiated a discussion over ATP, I wouldn't be able to finish it. I mean, like, I don't debate through the comment section, but I don't have to. So if I would have started the discussion on ATP, I might respond, 2 or 3 times, but I probably end up forgetting about it, and the discussion would continue without me. So Steve has an open invitation this Sunday for a debate. Now, why would he be trying to start a discussion this Sunday when he knows Sunday or Monday I said that I was going to have a discussion? Gee, I wonder why that is. I wonder why he's going to try to have a discussion that day. Is he inviting me? Christopher, is he inviting me? Let me show you guys the stupid me. I'm in the comments, but I'm not showing you guys what the comments are afterwards. When this goes live, people are just going to be thinking I'm stupid talking to myself. So I'll screen share the comments. Is Christopher Hitchlap, did Steve invite me? Or is that what you're saying? It's very strange for him to invite me. But that's not going to happen on his channel, that's for sure. If he wants to, maybe we can have a discussion on Antonio's channel or something like that, or I don't know, something like that. Maybe my, well, he says he doesn't want it in my room, but hey, look it. I'm fair with everybody, okay? I'm cool with everybody. I don't have any problem with anybody, just so long as they treat me with respect and they stay on topic. But I'm, when I'm expecting to have a discussion, I'm expecting to have a discussion. And despite what you clowns are trying to say about Jake and the discussion that I had with him the other day, I mean, he did horrible. He really did do a very, very bad job in that discussion. Everybody's just throwing a fit because you guys don't prefer me in the discussion. So you're just complaining because of how bad he looked, So Christopher, did he say that he wants me in that discussion? He hasn't gotten back to me yet, so I don't know. All right. All right, guys. So he didn't get back to me. Let me check real quick one more time. It says, you are not fair. You yell over people, boot them, and boot them. I'm talking about Steve. You said Steve has an open invitation. I have an open invitation on Sunday of all days, He who is nobody is saying, well, he's complaining about me muting and booting. The only time I mute and boot people is when people act out and they don't conduct themselves properly. That's the only time I actually do that. So there's like 1 or 2 times, like a while back, like one time like 3 years ago, where I was muting somebody excessively. Well, to be honest, I mean, I haven't really unmuted anybody else actually excessively like that. That's not true. It was one person. The other person, I think that I sort of treated unfair, over talking a little bit too much, and got a little too crazy with him. But he was equally over talking me at the same time. So I mean, you guys really can't make this complaint towards me because it's not true. You're literally complaining at me because I'm trying to make sure that the discussion stays right. That's what you're trying to complain at me about. Don't mute the obnoxious atheist that wants to get off topic. Let him run amok and let him make your room into a mess, because we want your room to be a mess like that. We don't want there to be a civil discussion. I mean, You go to JD Kane's Hangouts and you see what happens in some of those discussions. You see how Steve, this exact person who you guys were just mentioning, and the atheist in his room, Tommy Hall, and they do treat Tommy Hall. How John Sabator, when he was in there, they were all over talking him. I mean, look, you guys are hypocrites. That's that's exactly what I'm trying to keep from happening in my room. Anyways, man, this hangout. I need to stop responding to these guys in the comment section. It's really, really early here, or late, however you want to look at it. But yeah, I mean, I hope if we start to see something like that happen, I really do. I hope we start to see the smaller channels grow and explode. Even if we get like, just think about it. If we get like 30 or 40 different channels here on YouTube, 30 or 40 of our subscribers in general here on YouTube, you know, from my channel to G-Man's to Bible Thumping Wingnuts to Veckles to everybody's channels, just 30 or 40 individual people and get 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers, and they have a view rates to about 150 to the 300 views. That would be a really good thing. 30 more people participating in the great debate that are Christians. Little seeds planted all over the place with more content responding to nonsense. That's what we need to see happen. We need to look for those that have the ability to debate and start responding to people. And we need to try to help those channels grow. Even if they only get 200 subs, 150 subs, something like that, that's still good, I think. I think that's pretty decent. And I think, you know, it might not be the thousands or 2,000, 3,000 subs that we all have, but it's something, and it's something that we can start to see, you know, our efforts be a lot more productive. I suspect that if we start doing things like this, that this community is going to be completely different in another 3 years. I mean, we're going to be the ones that are going to dominate this atmosphere, and we're already dominating. I mean, if you look at our discussions, if you really look at our discussions honestly, despite the excuses that they try to make, we really do dominate this atmosphere. You look at Kent Hovind versus anybody else, completely wipes them out. You look at Stephen C. Meyer, you look at the people within our community, like, well, Saitan, that would be kind of pushing it. I don't agree with presuppositionalism. He still does a pretty good job at what he does. Matt Slick, I mean, that guy wipes the floor with pretty much every single person he talks to. All of them, Bible Thumping Wingnut, and those that participate in the Bible Thumping Wingnut podcast, every Sunday, they wipe the floor with all of the atheists that come into that room and try to talk with them. That's just how it is. We do a lot better than they do when it comes to debate. And imagine if we were to amplify that, make that even more here on YouTube. I mean, that would be awesome. So this is just what, you know, what my thoughts are on this, guys. I know it was a little rambly. I don't know if I'm going to keep this video up. I might try to. Well, I was originally thinking about actually trying to edit together a video that I thought was going to be a little bit more productive. So if I remove this video, I'll probably be talking about it again in probably a better quality video that I'm going to make. So that's it, guys. God bless. Take it easy.